It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. God says you are leaving very soon. There's a shift on the horizon, a radical relocation or departure. Maybe literal, maybe spiritual. That is part of his bigger plan for you. As a chosen one, you've likely felt this stirring for a while now. If you are here, it's not by chance. You were led to this message to confirm those inner nudges telling you change is imminent. Before we dig deeper, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with 77 below to send a powerful signal to the universe. Keep this video on replay if it resonates. If you're truly among the chosen, you'll watch till the very end. If not, you'll slip out before these truths settle in your spirit. Chapter 1. The Stirrings of Impending Departure. You might have noticed subtle signs: a sudden dissatisfaction with your current environment, recurring dreams about new places, or random opportunities popping up that suggest travel or transition. People you meet every day might dismiss these as coincidences or midlife restlessness, but you recognize them as the Watcher's way of prompting you for the next phase. It's as though the very air has changed around you, making old things feel stifling. This restlessness, far from random, is a divine nudge. God is whispering, prepare to leave soon. This leaving could be geographical, relocating across the country or the globe, or it could be metaphorical, exiting a stale job, outdated mindsets, or relationships that no longer serve your growth. Many chosen ones experience it as both, an external move echoing an internal shift. While friends might see your restlessness as escapism, you see it as following the Watcher's breadcrumbs, and each breadcrumb leads you further from your comfort zone, inching you closer to the destiny that's calling your name. The Watchers orchestrate details behind the scenes. Perhaps you meet someone online who mentions an opportunity in another city, or you stumble across a scripture or quote that resonates with your desire to break free. These puzzle pieces pile up until you can't ignore the pattern. Yet you might still wrestle with doubt. Is this really from God or just my imagination? That's natural, but as a chosen soul, you've learned to trust those recurring themes that spark a unique excitement in your spirit. One reason you must leave soon is that you've outgrown your current setting. Like a plant trapped in a pot that's too small, your spirit needs more room to expand. God sees your potential suffocating in this environment, so he's orchestrating an exodus. People around you might think you're being dramatic, but they don't sense the Watcher's gentle push like you do. They don't see your nights full of restless longing or the daydreams hinting at wide-open possibilities. Embrace these stirrings as signs, not mere fantasies. Resist the temptation to cling to familiarity out of fear. The Watchers rarely mislead you. If they planted the notion that your time here is over, it's because they have a prepared place, season, or mission waiting for you. And as soon as you make peace with this truth, doors will begin to open. Resources you lack will suddenly appear. The right information will surface at the perfect moment. People call it serendipity, but you know it's the Watchers clearing the path for your exit. Thus, the first step is acknowledging you're not imagining things. You're truly being led to leave, physically, spiritually, or both. Let your heart rest in this realization, and let your faith absorb the Watcher's signals. Because once you stop resisting, you'll find there's less friction, more clarity, and a swelling sense of excitement, even in the face of the unknown. And that excitement, that quickening of your spirit, is how you know God is about to make good on his word. You are leaving soon, and your new horizon awaits. Chapter 2. Divine Timing and the Call to Depart. God's timing is never haphazard. As a chosen soul, you've witnessed how he aligns events precisely, even when they appear chaotic to outsiders. Right now, you might be counting the signs, noticing how each one converges on a singular message: prepare to depart. But why now and not a year ago, or sometime in the future? People you meet every day might argue that you can leave whenever you like. But for chosen ones, the Watchers coordinate a perfect timetable that ensures maximum impact and minimal waste. This timing becomes especially evident when you consider how everything you've endured has prepared you for this moment. The heartbreaks, the financial struggles, even the seemingly trivial lessons all converge to shape a version of you who's ready for relocation, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. If you'd left earlier, the watchers might know you'd have floundered. If you waited too long, your window of opportunity might close. Thus, this exact juncture in time becomes God's sweet spot, the confluence of readiness, opportunity, and necessity. Another factor is who or what you leave behind. If you're stepping away from certain toxic relationships or a community that no longer nurtures you, the watchers often wait until you're emotionally strong enough to handle the fallout. People might say you're just running away, but you realize you've grown beyond that environment's capacity to support your calling. The watchers see you've gleaned all the lessons possible here, so lingering would only stall your growth. Consider also that your departure might serve as a catalyst for others. If you hold a pivotal role in someone's life or a community structure, your exit can spark transformation. They might finally face their issues or discover they can stand on their own feet without leaning on your presence. The watchers, invested not just in your destiny, but in the bigger tapestry, orchestrate your leaving at the precise moment it triggers beneficial ripples in multiple directions. People might blame you for abandoning them, but in truth, the watchers have moved you, trusting they'll help them too, in a fresh way. Of course, this call to depart can generate internal tension. You might second guess whether you're truly hearing God's timing. But watch for confirmations. A sudden surge of peace when you consider leaving, an epiphany while reading scripture, or a subtle dream that resonates with finality. The watchers rarely leave you to guess blindly. They often supply recurring affirmations so your faith can rest on something more solid than speculation. In the end, divine timing is a masterpiece of orchestration. What seems abrupt to some is meticulously planned by the watchers. If your spirit resonates with the notion that this time is now, your posture should shift from "should I" to "how best to execute this move." Because the watchers don't dangle illusions in front of you. They engineer an exit route that sets you on course for deeper purpose. So trust that if God says you are leaving soon, it aligns with a schedule that's been in the making for longer than you realize. A schedule that, once realized, will reveal why you couldn't stay a moment longer in your current place. Chapter 3. Understanding the purpose behind your exit. It's natural to question the motive behind God's directive for you to leave. People you meet every day might suggest personal ambition or escapism, but as a chosen soul, you sense there's a larger tapestry unfolding. The watchers rarely move you haphazardly. Every relocation or major shift ties into a broader mission. If you are told you're leaving soon, it's because your absence or presence in a new environment will set off transformations beyond your personal gain. One primary purpose could be the expansion of influence. If you remain in a small pond that can't accommodate your evolving gifts, your impact remains limited. Perhaps the watchers see a city, a network, or a platform where your voice, art, or expertise can spark revival or healing. People around you might argue you can thrive anywhere, but you know from spiritual experience that location matters. Where God places you, His grace intensifies, matching you with the people, places, or systems craving what you offer. Another angle is your own soul's growth. Maybe you've mastered the current level of challenges or lessons, so your environment no longer pushes you. The watchers love growth. They don't want you to stagnate. By uprooting you, they force new learning curves and fresh encounters that expand your faith and deepen your character. Such shifts often happen right when you think you can finally relax. People might call it unfair timing, but for a chosen one, comfort is not the ultimate goal. Fulfillment and purpose are. Sometimes the watcher's plan revolves around synergy with other chosen individuals. If you're slated to collaborate with someone across the globe or in a different sector, God orchestrates your move at just the right moment so you intersect. This synergy might birth movements, projects, or ministries that shift entire communities. People might say you're impulsively chasing a partnership, but you sense the watchers connecting you to someone you could never have met if you stayed in your safe zone. Once you join forces, the ripple effect dwarfs anything you could accomplish solo. Also, consider that your leaving can initiate your replacement in the current scene. If you've been occupying a role too long, maybe someone else is supposed to step into your shoes. The Watchers care about everyone's development, not just yours. By transferring you, you free a vacuum that encourages the next budding leader to emerge. People might criticize you for leaving them behind, but often it's the Watcher's way of ensuring that new talents don't remain overshadowed while you pursue bigger responsibilities. Hence, the Watchers orchestrating your departure isn't a whimsical act. It's a tactical deployment. They see a piece of the puzzle that fits your skill set, a territory thirsting for your gifts, or alliances waiting to be formed. They see that if you linger, you risk dulling your spark or blocking someone else's growth. This purposeful perspective can quell guilt or fear about leaving, replacing them with excitement about the fresh kingdom blueprint you're stepping into. Because when God says you are leaving very soon, He's not just uprooting you, He's strategically relocating you to stage 2 of your journey, one that demands your unique mix of readiness, vision, and unstoppable faith. Chapter 4: The Tug of War Between Comfort and Calling. Even though you sense the Watchers urging to leave, a part of you might still cling to familiarity. People you meet every day could add pressure by highlighting your comfortable lifestyle, stable job, or supportive friends. They might ask, why fix what isn't broken? For a chosen one, comfort often clashes with calling. Staying put might keep life easy, but it also stifles your destiny. This tug of war can create an emotional storm, but it's also the Watcher's final test to ensure you're truly committed to the path ahead. Comfort zones, by definition, are cozy. You've spent time nurturing routines, building relationships, and carving out a safe identity. Exiting that bubble can feel like betrayal, abandoning the security you worked so hard to establish. Yet every major biblical or historical figure who answered a call had to relinquish comfort. Abraham left his homeland, Moses stepped away from palace life, and so on. The Watchers systematically require that next level of faith, trusting you'll exchange short-term comfort for long-term significance. Simultaneously, your calling itches inside, reminding you that you didn't come this far just to maintain the status quo. People might interpret your restlessness as ingratitude. Why not be thankful for what you have? But gratitude and ambition are not mutually exclusive. You can be deeply grateful for blessings here while still acknowledging your assignment lies elsewhere. In fact, the Watchers often embed a growing sense of dissonance within your daily environment as a sign you've outgrown it. The more you try to settle, the more uneasy you feel. Battling this tug of war also exposes your hidden fears. Maybe you dread losing social connections or financial stability, or you worry you'll regret leaving if the Watcher's plan doesn't materialize as you hope. A chosen soul understands that fear rarely aligns with the Watcher's voice. Fear is your mind's attempt to protect you from the unknown. Meanwhile, faith whispers that you're never alone in uncharted territory. The Watchers are orchestrating events to cushion or catapult you forward at each turn. Therefore, the real question becomes, which voice do you heed, comfort or calling? If you pick comfort, you might experience a temporary calm but a growing hollowness as your spirit quietly suffocates. If you choose calling, you encounter risk but also the potential for exhilaration and deep fulfillment. People may pity your boldness if challenges flare, yet they don't see the Watcher's blueprint that ensures each challenge refines and never destroys you. This internal conflict signals you're on the cusp of a major pivot. Embrace it rather than resent it. The Watchers allowed the tension so you'd consciously choose your path, not drift into it by accident. Each day, reaffirm your commitment to the Watcher's orchestration. I release my hold on comfort and move toward what God is summoning me to do. When you align with that prayerful stance, the Watchers interpret it as permission to finalize the next steps. Because once you push past your comfort bubble, you tap into an expansive realm of growth, proving that your calling, not complacency, is your guiding star. Chapter 5: Logistical and Spiritual Readiness. Before you go, God's message that you'll be leaving soon isn't just an abstract prophecy. It demands concrete steps: settling finances, packing your belongings, possibly giving notice at work. While others may see these as routine tasks, you know each move can be an act of faith. If your departure is divinely orchestrated, Both spiritual and logistical preparation become crucial. Without it, you risk fumbling a transition that could otherwise flow smoothly. Logistically, start by resolving unfinished business. Make sure bills are paid and obligations are met. Abruptly vanishing can leave behind chaos. The Watchers prefer a clean slate, fewer loose ends to manage when you arrive at your new destination. People might question your thoroughness, but that diligence can be the difference between a frenetic exit and a poised departure. Next, consider what to give away or discard. Leaving often symbolizes growth. Outdated items or memories can weigh you down. Friends might say you're wasting perfectly good stuff, but the Watchers want you unburdened. Letting go of clutter frees space for fresh blessings aligned with your next chapter. On the spiritual side, deepen your connection with the Watchers. If your prayer life is casual, make it more intentional. Request specific guidance about your upcoming journey, whether a physical move or a shift into a new role. Some may find your prayers excessive, but clarity in asking leads to clarity in receiving. Emotional closure also matters. Are there goodbyes you've avoided or apologies you've withheld? Others might view heartfelt farewells as melodramatic, but you know once you leave, everything changes. The Watchers may prompt you to comfort someone who relies on you or offer final words of wisdom to a relative. Resolving these emotional ties readies you for the fresh bonds and missions awaiting in your new environment. Finally, stay alert for last-minute divine interventions. As you finalize details, you might encounter an unexpected financial gift or a wise word from a stranger. People call these coincidences, but you see them as the Watchers removing final obstacles. Accept their help and remain flexible in your plans. Preparedness doesn't mean rigidity. The timeline can shift as the Watchers see fit. Once they give the green light, your departure transforms from a mundane task list into a divinely orchestrated exodus, meticulously designed by a realm that exceeds ordinary logic. Chapter 6. What awaits you on the other side. When you hear, "You're leaving soon," the immediate focus is on departure, yet what lies ahead is just as important. Others may think your story ends once you step out, but as a chosen soul, you know this is only the start of a new chapter. The Watchers don't uproot you for minor tweaks. They position you in fertile territory, brimming with uncharted possibilities. If you're leaving, it's because your arrival elsewhere matters in ways you may only sense dimly right now. A key gift of moving on is a heightened sense of purpose. Perhaps your old setting stifled your calling. Now the Watchers guide you toward a place rich in opportunities and resources. People may marvel at how quickly you flourish, but it's no coincidence. You're simply planting seeds in more fruitful soil, discovering talents that remain dormant due to unfavorable conditions. Expect to meet kindred spirits. The Watchers rarely send you into isolation. They coordinate pivotal encounters with individuals who share or need your unique vision. New friendships can form with surprising depth and speed, becoming powerful alliances that propel everyone forward. Such rapid bonding often confirms you've landed exactly where destiny intended. Financial or influential doors may also swing open, ones that were bolted shut in your old environment. Whether to improve local economics, broader networks, or a culture that aligns better with your goals, you'll find barriers dissolving. People might call it luck, but you know it's divine alignment. Freed from previous constraints, you can scale your impact, whether in business, art, or community leadership, like never before. Just as vital is the personal growth sparked by unfamiliar territory. You rely more on faith and guidance from the Watchers, shedding what once kept you comfortable. Others might barely recognize the confident, resilient person you become. That transformation is precisely why the Watchers orchestrated this move. Your spirit needs fresh challenges to expand its horizons. Of course, not every aspect of your new situation is rosy. You may face cultural differences, hidden adversaries, or surprising responsibilities. Yet each hurdle refines and elevates you. Rather than lamenting these difficulties, you interpret them as stepping stones, sure signs you're in the right place, doing the right work. The Watchers don't position you idly where there's no room to grow. Leaving was never about running away. It was about stepping bravely into a new destiny, arms open, heart ready, and spirit willing to be shaped for the next level. Chapter 7, the grand finale. Fully accepting your call to depart. At this point, you've absorbed the signs, recognized the Watcher's orchestration, and weighed the promise that you are leaving very soon. The final chapter is about committing wholeheartedly. No hedging, no half measures. People you meet every day might caution, don't rush, keep your options open. But as a chosen one, you know hesitancy can sabotage destiny. When God declares it's time to leave, the Watchers expect a firm yes or no. Waffling in doubt only delays or derails the path set for you. Fully accepting your call to depart means releasing old attachments, even those that once nourished you. This can evoke sorrow or nostalgia. But remember, comfort zones rarely accommodate massive expansion. If you cling to the past, you might find yourself in limbo, one foot stepping toward your new station, the other anchored in old ways, creating a tension that blocks both. The Watchers allow a grace period for you to sort out your emotions, but eventually the cosmic timeline moves on with or without your full cooperation. This acceptance also includes a readiness to face naysayers or misunderstandings. Not everyone will interpret your departure as divine guidance. Some may label you impulsive or irresponsible. A chosen soul, though respectful, can't seek endless validation from external voices. You stand on the Watcher's word, letting faith overshadow popular opinion. As you finalize your decision, you shift from explaining to living out your truth. People might not grasp your reasons until they see the remarkable fruit that follows your obedience. Another layer is welcoming the unknown with excitement, not dread. Sure, stepping into unfamiliar territory stirs anxiety, but also wonder. The Watchers rarely reveal every detail. They prefer you discover breakthroughs step by step, building trust with each leap. By embracing that, you learn on the go, transforming fear into curiosity. People might balk at your willingness to venture blind, but your experiences prove that the Watchers supply clarity in real time, not months in advance. This dynamic partnership fosters dynamic faith. Also, accept that your timing might not appease everyone. Bosses, relatives, or close friends could find your abruptness inconvenient. Yet spiritual deadlines outrank human schedules. You can strive to depart responsibly, give proper notice, handle loose ends, but you can't stall indefinitely because someone else is unprepared. The Watchers hold you accountable primarily for your calling, trusting them to care for or redirect those you leave behind. That might sound cold, but it's actually faith. Believing God's plan accommodates everyone's growth, not just your own. When you fully embrace this departure, expect a surge of inner peace or confirmation. Tension yields to calm anticipation, as though a massive breath of fresh air sweeps through your soul. This shift signals the Watchers reading your final yes, and they'll lock in the next phase. You realize the entire buildup, your restlessness, repeated signs, final goodbyes, was orchestrated so you could step out with unwavering conviction. So now you stand on the brink, heart steady, spirit lit with divine expectancy. Because once you say yes to leaving, really say yes, God sets the final pieces in motion, catapulting you into a new realm of purpose.